You might not realize just how powerful multinational corporations have become. Welcome to this video exploring the role of these companies in wars. This video was produced by Amar Al-Ta'ani and presented by Dr. Walid Abu Dalbu in a lecture on security strategies. Once upon a time, in the age of corporate giants, multinational companies began weaving their intricate webs across the globe. These massive entities, stretching across borders and reaching into the heart of governments, became the modern-day behemoths. Their influence, sometimes subtle, sometimes blatant, began to shape the world's economy, dictate political agendas, and even fan the flames of war. Nations were no longer the sole players on the global chessboard. Corporations, driven by profit and power, began to cast their long shadows on the battlefield. Their reach extended far beyond boardrooms and stock markets. They operated in the murky worlds of international finance, using their power to build economies or crush them. In 2020, the combined revenue of the top 500 multinational corporations surpassed $33 trillion, accounting for over 40% of the global gross domestic product. Their influence seeped into the halls of power, where lobbyists whispered in the ears of presidents and prime ministers, shaping policies to suit their corporate interests. These weren't just companies. They were empires in their own right. Their CEOs, the modern-day emperors, commanded armies of lawyers, accountants, and PR gurus, all working tirelessly to advance the company's goals, no matter the cost. And as history has shown time and again, the cost was often measured in human lives. When profit became the ultimate motive, the lines between right and wrong, between peace and war, blurred, and the world became a much more dangerous place. Today, multinational corporations operate in over 190 countries, including key regions in the Middle East and Arab countries, influencing their economies and politics. The top 100 multinational corporations alone control assets worth over $16 trillion, demonstrating their immense financial clout. But it doesn't stop there. Some multinational corporations have been involved in financing and supplying weapons to private militias, fueling armed conflicts around the world. Leaked documents and whistleblower testimonies have exposed the involvement of these corporations in shady arms deals, raising questions about their role in perpetuating wars. Moreover, their activities have led to environmental destruction and the displacement of communities, further complicating humanitarian situations in conflict zones. As global awareness grows, voices are rising against these corporations, demanding accountability for their actions and their detrimental impact on the world. The question remains, will justice catch up with these modern-day empires? Or will multinational corporations continue to wield their influence unchecked? Imagine the echoes of war reverberating through time, and you'll find multinational corporations at the heart of many conflicts. Their fingerprints are on some of the darkest chapters in our history. Imagine the turn of the 20th century, where corporations supplied weapons and resources during World War I, reaping billions in profits. Go back to the colonial era and you'll see companies seizing resources. For example, the British East India Company controlled half of the world's trade in basic commodities. Fast forward to World War II, often remembered as a clash of ideologies, but also a time when corporations played a pivotal role. Companies like IG Farben in Germany and Standard Oil in the United States, fueled by war profits, supplied both sides of the conflict. IG Farben's profits soared to over 1.5 billion German marks. Their greed fueled the fires of destruction. The Cold War wasn't just a battle between superpowers, it was a struggle for economic dominance. Corporations competed for control of resources and markets in oil-rich regions like Saudi Arabia and Iraq. By the 1970s, oil giants like Exxon and BP were raking in billions of dollars annually from Middle Eastern oil. This legacy of corporate colonialism continues to this day, with many nations grappling with instability and poverty. Imagine the jungles of Vietnam, where companies like Dow Chemical profited from selling Agent Orange, with contracts exceeding $180 million. Or the diamond mines of Africa, where conflict diamonds fueled brutal wars, generating an estimated $3.8 billion annually in the 1990s. The story remains constant. Where there is conflict, there is profit to be made, and corporations have rarely hesitated to exploit that. Imagine the fog of modern warfare. Within this haze, corporate interests play a pivotal role in shaping recent conflicts. Picture a modern battlefield transformed by technology. Gone are the days of straightforward battles between nation-states. Today we witness shadowy conflicts with shadowy non-state actors and covert operations. Yet, amidst this modern fog, the role of multinational corporations emerges with startling clarity. Look at the conflicts in Syria and Yemen over the past decade. Multinational corporations have been deeply involved in both reconstruction and resource extraction, impacting the lives of countless people, but their influence doesn't end with rebuilding. Remember President Eisenhower's warning about the military-industrial complex? Companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing and Raytheon, with their close ties to the Pentagon, thrive on perpetual war, their profits fueled by the global arms trade. In 2020, Lockheed Martin reported revenue of $65.4 billion, mostly from defense contracts. And let's not forget the role of technology companies in modern surveillance and information warfare. From facial recognition software tracking dissidents to social media platforms manipulated to sow discord and influence elections, the digital battleground has become another arena for corporate profiteering. The lines between commerce and conflict have never been blurrier. Imagine a world where profit and power are the driving forces behind the corporate agenda. Picture multinational corporations taking the stage of war, but what compels them to do so? The story is complex, woven from threads of greed, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of power. Profit, the lifeblood of capitalism, is a key player. In 2020, the global arms trade was estimated at over $531 billion. Wars, despite their horrors, open doors to opportunities. Think of rebuilding destroyed infrastructure, the demand for weapons and security services, and access to valuable resources in unstable regions. These scenarios present corporations with a chance to reap tremendous profits. For instance, the cost of rebuilding Iraq was estimated at over $88 billion. But the narrative doesn't end with financial gains. There's a deeper narrative, a quest for power and influence that transcends national boundaries. By funding political campaigns, lobbying governments, and shaping public opinion through complicit media outlets, corporations aim to influence political decisions and secure favorable trade deals, often at the expense of human rights and environmental protection. In 2019, corporate lobbying expenditures in the United States alone exceeded $3.5 billion. Their methods are as diverse as they are effective. They provide logistical support to armies, supply them with weapons and surveillance technology, fund paramilitary groups, and engage in propaganda campaigns to sway public opinion. Operating in the shadows, they manipulate events from behind the scenes, their involvement often hidden from public view. Today, multinational corporations continue their pursuit of profit and power, influencing political decisions and economic policies in countries like Egypt and the United Arab Emirates, shaping the future of the region. In their relentless pursuit, they become architects of conflict, their actions casting a long shadow on the lives of millions. Thank you for taking the time to explore this complex issue with us. Your engagement is crucial for understanding these intricate dynamics.